Yo, it's the king, the real maritime legend himself, JP Sims, and you're listening to Shooting Up North Indy Edition with my homie, my brother, Lewis Carlan.
Hello and welcome to Shooting Up North Indy Edition. I'm your host, Lewis Carlan. Very excited today because I have a good friend of mine on the show. Hasn't been on the show in a while, but I'm glad he's back today. I'm talking about the king, the real Maritimes legend himself, the one and only JP Sims. JP, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Man, it's so good to be back, my brother. It's been too long since we talked, man. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Yeah, it's we shouldn't wait this long anymore, and we should do this like every 3 or 4 months, man. Not every year and a half.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do one in a few months. We'll catch up for all that lost time.
All right, cool, man.
Lots to talk about.
Absolutely, man. So Halloween was yesterday. Two-part question: how was your Halloween? And absolutely loved the Luigi costume, man.
Well, Halloween was great, man. The kids had a blast. It was the first time taking them out trick-or-treating. Last year, Braden was just a little over 2, my son, and my daughter just turned 1, and they were sick, unfortunately, and we were as well, so we didn't get to get out. And so this year was even more exciting, being able to get out with the kids and dress up as a family. So, they had a blast. They're still talking about it right now, and, Braden keeps saying trick-or-treat, and I keep telling them, wait till next year, we'll do it again. And we'll find another, family thing to dress, something fun to dress up as. And, as far as the Luigi, man, I thought that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And, we came up with the idea to be the Mario Brothers and stuff. And Braden likes King Koopa on the show, Mario Brothers show. So,
Okay.
it worked out cool. And we figured Natalia could be Princess Peach, and it'd be cool to be the Mario Brothers. I'm a huge Mario Brothers fan, always was. So I thought it was cool to be something different, and I thought it was cool. I liked that mustache edition. It was cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I was thinking that could be your new gimmick, man. You could
Yeah.
you could be a Luigi in the ring, man. That would work out for you, man.
Oh man, I think people take that seriously for sure, eh? The crown with the mustache.
I just want to see Luigi simulate somebody. That's all I want to see, man.
Well, that's one thing I could still do with that
Of course, man.
gimmick on. I could still hit that no matter what. So never know. You never know.
Well, so your son is 2, Braden is 2, and daughter is 1. Wow, they grow up so quickly,
Now
don't they?
Braden's 3.5 now, and Italian.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when we were talking when he was just born, man. So time flies, man. It goes by fast. I'm telling you, man. Enjoy it while you can, because I have a 17-year-old daughter right now, and she wants nothing to do with me. So it goes by real fast, man. So just enjoy it while you can.
17 already. Wow. Yeah. Even I feel like the last time we talked, she was only, my God, it feels like a lot younger. Like you said, it's been a while
Yeah.
since we talked, but oh my God, 17. Wow.
I know, man. Time flies, man. So let's get into wrestling, man. November 7th, you have a huge opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Kaizen Pro Wrestling to become the first ever Kaizen Pro Wrestling Champion. You're up against Covey Christ, Titus, Kimba, and whoever wins against Jefferson James, Madison Miles, Chantel, Chip Chambers. What's the strategy going in? And I'm going to ask you to make a prediction. Are you walking out as a Kaizen Pro Wrestling Champion?
Well, first of all, I'll start with the second part. Yes, I will walk out the first Kaizen Pro champion, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be the match is going to be super over. It's going to be amazing, man. That's all I can say. Some of the best workers in the Maritimes are going to be in that ring all at once. And, it's definitely going to be a brawl. It's going to be entertainment. It's going to be something to see. And, my strategy is what it always is. And that's to, go out there and do whatever I have to do to get the victory. And I think that's what's different about me than everybody else is I'll do whatever it takes, and I got some unfinished business to take care of with Covey Christ as well. So, I'll get my fix in that match for sure.
Okay, so who do you think is going to give you the most problems during that match? Because there's a lot of talent in that match, and you don't know who the fifth person is going to be. But who do you think is going to give you the most problems? You think it's going to be Titus? Is it going to be Covey, Kimba? Who do you think is going to give you the most problems?
Well, I think Covey's going to try. Being he tried to break my arm at the last show, I think that he's gonna definitely try, but he's not going to be successful. Titus. I've had some wars with Titus in the past, and he will definitely bring give everybody a run for their money, and but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who it is because I'm in there to put that belt around my waist, and it's going to be a huge deal. The first ever Kaizen Pro Heavyweight Champion, that's a big deal. So everybody better be ready.
Yep, it is you. It's a gorgeous title, and
yes.
I will say it will look good around your waist. I'll be honest there.
Yeah, I think it would, and the crown and everything. I think that's a good look. It's a good fit, and I'd like to have some more gold around my waist. So, other than the New Breed Heavyweight Championship, I'd like to have the Kaizen Pro as well. So,
so who do you think the fifth person is going to be? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy.
No. Go ahead, man. I was finished.
Oh, no, I was going to think, who do you think the fifth person is going to be? I personally think it's going to be Jefferson James, but who do you think the fifth person might be? Or it doesn't matter to whoever it is, because you're going to win anyway, right?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter to me. I mean, it definitely throws an element of surprise in there, like you said earlier. Not knowing who it is definitely going to be, it's going to have some people on the edge a little bit, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because, if you're not walking in there with the game plan to win, then, you shouldn't even be there at all. And for me, it doesn't matter. Like Jefferson James or Jeff James, I would like to see him get in there. I think that, he definitely would be able to get in there and have a good match and give everybody a run for their money. But, at the end of the day, I'll simulate him too. So.
Just to note, I had him on last week. He doesn't like to be called Jeff. I don't know if you knew that, but you called him Jeff. So you might have just got, if he's listening right now, I'm sure he's just kind of very, very angry so I actually called him Jeff and he got upset with me. So.
No way.
Yeah, no, actually, what I would love for you to do is if he's in the match, right before you hit the simulator, just call him Jeff. Say, this is for you, Jeff, and just simulate him.
All right, I will. Well, I'm glad I said Jeff James. And
yeah.
I'll be in the ring with you, Jeff James.
Yeah.
We'll see what you got if you win that match on Saturday night.
Okay, there you go. So you mentioned the Covey Christ match, and it was a terrific match. And you said he tried to break your arm. How's the arm, by the way? Is the arm okay?
Yeah, the arm's good. It definitely still has a little bit of pain, but I'm getting there. And I've had the last almost 2 months to recover, and I've been training and I've been doing everything I got to do to make sure that I'm as close to 100%. As I need to be for the match on Saturday night. But, as far as Covey's concerned, I got a lot of problems with him, and I'm going to have my way with him the next time me and him are in the ring. And I told him that. So the next time you and I step in the ring together, it'll be the last time because, he made a big mistake. He made a big critical error. He tried to break my arm, but he didn't. And, again, what's different from me is that I'll do anything. It doesn't matter to me. I'll do whatever it takes. And, he tried. I won't try. I will do something to him, and he won't be back in wrestling for a long time if I can help it.
Okay. Oh, well, he did try, even though he tried to break your arm, you did get the victory over him. So you do hold, you did get the last laugh during the match because you did win the match.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure he's thinking about that because he's, psychologically he's probably thinking I didn't get the win over JP, so he's probably thinking, can I beat this guy? So you have a psychological advantage over Covey right now, I think.
Absolutely, and not only did I beat him, I out-wrestled him, and I did the one thing that everybody says that I can't do, and that's wrestle, which I can do, and I've proven it in the past. And I went in there, and we had a wrestling match, and once he realized that he couldn't beat me, then that was when he tried to break my arm. And that's smart. Kudos to him. I don't blame him. I'm a pretty vicious guy when I'm in that ring as well, but the difference is I don't make any excuses. I don't deny it. I've always said from day one, I'll do whatever it takes to win. And, I did win that match, as you said. And up until he tried to break my arm, I thought the match was great. And I thought that we were giving the people a show. And once he tried to break my arm, changed the whole game. And, I still beat him. And like you said, I definitely I have an advantage over him. But at the end of the day, he tried to break my arm. So the next time me and him step in the ring, I'm not going to be in there to wrestle. I'm going to be in there to hurt him.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, man. So you're the king of Maritimes Wrestling. You're the Maritimes legend. When did you start calling yourself the king of Maritimes Wrestling? And did anybody take offense to that when you started calling yourself that?
First part, it was a couple of years ago. Just kind of started by accident. I think it was about 3 years ago in 2017. I kind of slowly started to call myself it, but it wasn't full out yet. I didn't have the crown, and it just kind of, I think what happened was I always wore my camouflage hat before, and I always wore that to the ring. And I went up to an IHW show a couple times, and I'd worn my hat that said King on it. And I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool hat. And I think one time I forgot my hat. And I'd only had that one. And I said, well, this works for me. This seems like the kind of thing that JP Sims would wear. It fits my character. So, whatever. I didn't have my camo hat, but I was like, this'll work. And then I just kind of slowly started to call myself it in promos and on Facebook, social media, etc. I just kind of started referring to myself as the king. And then I just kind of rang a bell in my head, and I said, well, I'm already a super over-the-top cocky heel as it is. What's cockier than calling yourself also the Maritime Legend, but calling yourself a king? And, just kind of stuck from there. And, as far as people being offended by it, nothing I ever heard. I think that, people liked it a lot, and I think people thought it was pretty cool because it's a super over-the-top gimmick. Person that not only says he's the real Maritime Legend, but I'm the king, I'm this, I'm that, and it's just a good way to be a self-absorbed heel or babyface, because I really think the king thing is stuck well, and I really enjoy doing it, and I think adding that crown was the best thing I ever could have did, and I'm actually in the process of getting a new one right now.
Okay, can I have the old crown, by the way? If you get a new one, can I have the old one?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a little.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You keep it. You keep it.
My son likes it. So.
No, yeah, you keep it. I'm just kidding, man. Yeah. I could be the king of podcasting. Maybe I could wear the crown and call myself the king of Ontario podcasting.
There you go.
But I need a crown though. I need a crown.
Go find one.
But Yeah, but I trust me. I'm just kidding. I think I'm far from being the king of Ontario podcasting. I think you could back up being the king of Maritimes Wrestling a lot better than I could back up being the king of Ontario podcasting. So you've earned that right. So has anybody taken exception to that, by the way? Because I'm sure a lot of people might be a little upset that you're calling yourself the king of Maritimes Wrestling.
I'm sure there's some people that don't like it, but. No one's ever, like I said, flat out said anything to me, but I'm sure there are people that would think that they're the king or whatever, and that I'm not. But hey, at the end of the day, you go there and you do what works for you, and I don't think the king would work as well for anybody else as it does for me. And I think that I thought of it for a reason. It came to me, and it worked out with me for a reason. I don't think it'd be the same if somebody else tried to get out there and rock a crown like I do. So, yeah, no, to answer your question, no.
All right, no, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think that gimmick will work with anybody except with you. I don't think anybody can pull it off, man. You've earned that right, and you're doing a great job with it, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go back to last November, because I know this whole stupid pandemic kind of shut wrestling down for a bit. So last November, you won the New Breed Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Watched the match. It was a great match against Titus, Mike Hughes, and Duke McIsaac. I believe that's his name.
Yes, Duke.
Any word? I'm not sure if you had a chance to defend the title yet. Have you defended the title at all, or you haven't had a chance to defend the title yet?
No, I unfortunately haven't had the chance to. Like you said, the pandemic, all that stuff that happened, just kind of changed everything. And New Breed Wrestling had shows booked for the whole year, and unfortunately, we had to postpone those shows, and just with everything going on, we had to shut down for the whole year, unfortunately. So I never did get to defend it, but still proud to be the champion. I thought that match was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed being in there with Titus, Duke McIsaac, and Mike Hughes. I thought that we all mixed really well together. And for a fatal four-way, they can be tough. They can be tough to put together in a way that is truly entertaining. A fatal four-way can be confusing at times. There's a lot going on, a lot for the fans to take in, and I think we did a really good job of keeping a fast-paced match, but keeping them entertained as well. And I had a lot of fun. That was on my birthday as well, so that just made
It was a great
night even more exciting, man. Yeah, it was a great night.
Yeah, no, it was a great match. It was a great match, man. And even though you used the title, to your advantage to knock a few people out to win the belt, but you won the title. And do you think you might have is there any word on when New Breed might be coming back where you could actually? Because I know I'm sure you're itching to defend that title.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but I would think early 2021. Once we usually wait for the winter, those few months of January and February to go by, and then I would say probably somewhere around March or April. I would hope. I definitely can't wait to get in there and do another New Breed Wrestling show. I really enjoy that, like working for that company, and I think it'll be fun. And I definitely did use the belt to my advantage because, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier with Covey Christ, I'll do whatever it takes. And, as soon as I seen that belt, you got it right. I would have hit every one of them in the head with that. And, did what I had to do to walk out champ. And, very proud of that night, proud of that match. And, looking forward to the next New Breed Wrestling show.
Yeah, whoever your opponent is they're unsuccessfully going to attempt to take that title off your hands. I'm sure you're going to hold that title for a very, very long time once the matches get going, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you've already held it for almost a year and didn't even have to defend it. It's just
I know,
looking
man.
good,
there you go.
looking good, and then once I get in there, I'll be ready. And yeah, like you said, they can try, but they'll be unsuccessful. The title's staying with me as long as I want it, and I want it, so it's not going anywhere.
There you go, my friend. So one thing that I love that you did early on when this stupid pandemic started, I remember you hanging out with your family on your front steps, and you just started playing music to create like a party-like atmosphere. It's kind of like a FU to COVID-19. I thought that was great, man. I wish I was there. I would have gone on my porch and I would have partied along with you, man. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, man. You know what? That was a lot of fun, and that was the one thing that I found was a bonus. You don't get a lot of bonuses out of the pandemic, obviously, with everything that's gone on, but with not being able to do a lot of things and having to keep your distance from everybody, that was a really cool thing to do. And I believe it was people, I know people around the area of where we lived were doing music and stuff like that. And we said, oh, we should get out there and play a song, because that's what it was originally. It was one song that, people would just play on their, step or whatever, balcony, wherever. And we said, oh, let's do it. And we actually became friends with our next door neighbor from that. And we started going out every night with her and doing the songs. And we started doing 2 songs and 3 songs. And I said, well, hey, it gives us something to look forward to. And, it was nice, especially not being able to have the normal, not being able to do things that you would normally do. And, it was a nice way to get a little adrenaline rush and have fun and be able to go on Facebook Live and talk to some people and let people see what's going on. And, I enjoyed it a lot. Like you said, if you were in Halifax, I would have told you to take a drink out too and blast your music.
Yeah.
Man. I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's right. You had the beers out as well. That's right. So you were, like you said, you were simulating the coronavirus, man. You weren't letting it get to you, man. That was great stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Great stuff, man.
It was a good way to take advantage of the small things and have a little bit of fun. And music's a huge thing to me. I love music, so it's like, hey, being able to get out there and blast some of your favorite songs and put on some throwbacks, it was nice. It definitely brought some entertainment, not only to us, but some other people that watched, I think, enjoyed it too. So it was a cool way for other people to have fun just watching the videos as well. And I get in to sing, and it was nice. It was a good way to take advantage of being on lockdown, because we were on lockdown at that time, especially. So it was,
yeah,
I couldn't really see anybody or go anywhere at that point. So it was like taking advantage, really. So yeah, I had fun. It was good.
Yeah, man, it was a cool thing, man. Like I said, I look forward to. I remember looking forward to the videos coming on Facebook, the live videos. So that was cool stuff, man. So as this pandemic is slowing down, and I can't wait for it to finally end. I know they're talking about vaccines. Do you anticipate more maritime promotions to start running shows again, or do you think it's just going to be the ones that are running now, and possibly in 2021 we'll see more?
Yeah, I think in 2021 we'll see a lot more. I think a lot of the promotions will start running again, but right now I don't see it where we're already at into the month of November. I don't see too many people that haven't already ran a show. Probably ain't gonna run one until the spring. Probably March, April 2021. Like I said, with New Breed Wrestling. But I think everybody will start running again in 2021, especially where we've had control of the coronavirus, and our numbers haven't been spiking. And as long as we don't get a third wave, and who knows what'll happen, but we haven't had a second one yet. And if we did, we're in it now, which, our numbers are still fine. I can't see a scenario where people wouldn't start running again. I miss it. And I like, the more that run, the better. But I'm just glad that there's some shows going on right now, and there's actually wrestling, right? Like at the end of the day, it's the little things that you miss, and not being able to have any shows at all. You really miss it when you don't got it. So even if it's just Kaizen Pro and IHW and a few other ones running, I'll still take that. And at the end of the day, we're all still getting to get in there and do what we love, and at least get bookings and be in front of a good amount of people, even for the pandemic. Being able to get in there and have 150 people be able to be there with social distancing is good. And again, it's better than having no show, and I really missed it for that 5 months. I wasn't in a ring from March until, September, 6 months almost. Getting back into the ring was, that adrenaline rush was nice, and I can't wait for the show this Saturday night.
Yeah, and in addition to Saturday night, you mentioned IHW, November 20th. There's I think it's called Resurgence. IHW is having a big show. Do you have an opponent yet, or you're not sure who you're going to be facing?
Yeah, I'm not sure who I'm going to be facing. I haven't had an opponent named yet, but I am looking forward to it. I always have fun going up to Moncton and working for IHW. It's a lot of fun, and I'm ready for whoever they got in store. But that's definitely going to be really good to get up there again. And, I think the crowd in Moncton's going to be excited to get some wrestling again as well, because there hasn't been a show there since March. So I think it's going to be really fun. And, like I said, fingers crossed that things keep going well so shows can keep happening, and, at least get us some bookings before the winter season, like get us in there and get us ready for 2021 when the shows can start picking up, a lot more. I'm excited.
Well, whoever your opponent is, I'm sure they're gonna get simulated, and you'll end up being victorious. So whoever, maybe it'll be Jeff James. Maybe you'll get to simulate Jeff James.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe Jeff James will be that victim that'll get to eat the simulator and lay down on the mat for the 1, 2, 3, and then if they're lucky, take out my flask and pour a little bit of liquor in their face to wake them up and tell them, hey,
there you go.
The king was victorious, baby.
And you do know I'm in huge trouble right now with Jefferson James, right? he's gonna if he listens to this right now, I'm in huge. So you might have to protect me from Jefferson James.
Well, hey man, I got your back. So
Okay, there you go.
Try anything, and you let me know. But you got a little bit of distance, so it's like you have to let me know if he tries to come to Ontario. And
okay.
And then I'll worry about it,
Yeah, then I'll pay for your plane ticket to come out here to protect me, man.
Yeah, man, we'll make a vacation out of it, and we'll go party while we're at it. We'll we'll go do the music up in Toronto. You know.
Yeah, they would just walk around and start randomly simulating people on the street. We could do that too, man.
Yes. We'll just bring a mat so that once it starts hurting my back, they'll still hit the ground, but.
So tell me about the James Storm match. How did that one go, and how did you feel about that match?
It felt great. It went well. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It just kind of came out of nowhere, actually. The night before, I was told that I'd be working them, and it was up in Kentville, Nova Scotia. So, it was a lot of fun. I remember it rained all day, like really, really bad, and really bad. And the drive up there, even just the hour drive to Kentville, was pretty miserable. And there wasn't a lot of people there. There was the fan wise, maybe 100 at most, which was a little disappointing. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun. We went out there and we still worked and gave them a good match. I thought he was a lot of fun to work, and James Storm's a guy that I always liked and enjoyed watching. So to be able to step in the ring with him, especially where it just kind of came out of nowhere, was really cool, because a lot of times when you're working those names, you usually know a decent amount of time in advance, if they're coming down for a tour, you'll usually be told, or it'll already be advertised that you're working that person. So, you kind of get ready and you're already, hyped up and excited to do it. But to find out just the night before, oh, cool, you're working James Storm, I was like, oh man, cool, that's dope. I get to work James Storm. Then the next night, got the Booker T show in the forum at the Halifax Forum. I was like, yeah, man, this is dope. Let's go. Let's do it. And it was a lot of fun. I got somebody to tape that match, luckily, because I wanted to have a copy of it. I always try to tape all my matches, but especially when I'm working names like that, you always want to have a copy. Is
that match?
I have a copy of that match. It's not online, but
okay.
I'll have to post it. I just got to figure out how, because I got it sent to me through some weird, I can't remember what it is, but some weird it was sent to me through email or something. I'll have to just figure out how I can get it onto my computer and then post it. But yeah, I'll have to post it for sure, because it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I'd actually like to watch it again myself. So I'll definitely have to let you know when it gets posted.
All right, cool. So did you get the victory over James Storm, or did James Storm go over?
James Storm went over.
Okay.
Yeah, he got the victory, but at the end of the day, a couple months later, I think I was able to make up for that by defeating Colt Cabana. So I said, hey, that's okay. I can take some losses. It's not okay. It doesn't stop me.
All right. This is gonna sound corny, but sorry about your damn luck, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Apparently.
All right, man. Well, I'm sure you'll have another opportunity, and you'll get the win back over James Storm in 2021. I'm sure he's going to be on tour again, and you'll have another shot, man.
Yeah, man, I'd love to step in the ring with him again, and if I did, then especially having preparation for it this time around, I definitely will be able to right those wrongs and give him a run for his money, and tell him sorry about his damn luck. The loss of the king. The Real Maritime Legend. So hey, that's I'd be down for that 100%.
All right, cool, man. So as Halloween was yesterday, it's come and gone. So I'm just going to ask you, what is JP Sims' favorite scary movie of all time?
Favorite scary movie? Oh man, that's a good one. What would I've been watching a lot of them lately, and I'm trying to narrow down what would be my favorite one. I really like Friday the 13th. I like the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Let's see. I like the Halloween series. I like all of them.
Oh yeah.
I also like the remakes, the Rob Zombie remakes that they did in, I think it was 2007 and 09. Yeah. I like those ones a lot. Those ones actually are probably my favorite, the Halloween ones. Those are ones that I watch every year religiously, and I've always enjoyed them for a long time. And those are just classic horror movies that never get old. And the older that they are, you actually appreciate them more. And going back and watching those old ones from the 80s and stuff is I really enjoy it, especially in 2020, because I'm a huge nostalgia guy. So I like the old school stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Friday the 13th. See, I can't take the gore. I'm not a gore guy. I like them. I like the original Halloween from 1978 because there wasn't any gore in it at all, or there was like very, very little. But it was just
Yes.
flat out plain scary. So that I would say that's probably my favorite scary movie. I can't take the like Friday the 13th. I can't take that stuff, man. It makes me puke, man.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very squeamish. I'm very squeamish, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I enjoy them. Like it's not even like necessarily like the gore that I enjoy. I just enjoy those movies itself. You know what I mean? Like I just like I don't mind watching it, but it's not like it's not what I enjoy about the movie. But I it doesn't bother me one bit. Like I think those movies are cool, and I enjoy like I enjoy just the story alone. Like I like how he's always manages to find a way to get his victims no matter what, and I
Yeah.
always think that's funny when you watch those. The one thing I will say is funny about those horror movies is that like no matter how far away the victim is, they always seem to trip and then they get caught right away, and I always found that funny, right? It's like they could be 100 yards away, but within 2 seconds, you blink and you're caught, you fall and you can't get back up or whatever, and that's but like you said, the earlier Halloween movies, they didn't have all that gore, and it's crazy when you watch them back now how different the murders looked and stuff like that. When he would just, like kill a
Yeah.
guy and stuff like that, there was none of that, like you said, gore,
Yeah.
and they didn't
Yeah.
show as much of it as they do now. So, but yeah, I enjoy those movies, man. I think they're probably the best series of all time, in my opinion. Anyway, it's just one of those movies that I enjoy, and there's so many of them to watch that you got more than one or two to choose from. I just recently watched the Rob Zombie remakes a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. I was just watching the original Halloween movie, and there's one question. I don't know if you noticed this with Jamie Lee Curtis. When she thinks she's killed Michael Myers, and she gets the two kids, and she goes, "I want you two to run out to the neighbors and call for help." And I'm thinking, why is she staying there? Why doesn't she just run out of the house with them to go to the neighbor's house? Why she just stays there? Michael Myers wakes up and tries to kill her again.
Right? Yeah,
It didn't make sense.
exactly.
Didn't
Well,
make
why
sense.
would you? Yeah, exactly. You would be out. You would be running for your life, literally. You'd be gone. You would not just be like,
I
whatever.
mean, I'm not gonna take the two kids. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say, okay, you two go try to get help. I'll stay here with the killer in the other room.
Right.
I'm leaving
Right.
that house. I'm getting out of that house as fast as I can, man.
Especially when
I'll
he's
tell
coming
you,
after
man.
you and trying to kill you for all that
Yeah,
time. You'd be gone.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh.
stupid. You guys go. I'll wait here. Yeah, okay, stupid. All
Yeah.
right,
Keep the
whatever,
movie going, right? Give you that again element,
man.
that foolish horror movie element of no, you would try to leave. Like that's
Yeah,
funny, man.
absolutely. I'd be out of that house fast, man. I wouldn't. Fuck that, man.
That'd be out that
Um.
window. Yeah.
So how many pro wrestling figures do you have? I noticed that you do the Figure Friday post, and you seem to have quite a bit. How many do you own? You must own quite a few.
Oof, oh my God, yeah, I got tons. Just bone crunchers alone, I have gazillions. I also have a lot of the old LJNs, those big rubber ones. I have a whole bin of them. Ah, man, geez, I couldn't even count. Actually, I got them right in front of me right now. Some of them I'm
So,
looking at my
well,
Psycho Sid figure.
yeah, yeah, I saw. Yeah, yeah, posted that. Do you have a favorite figure? What's your all time favorite figure that you own?
I would say my favorite one probably has to be two. I got two of them, and it would be my Superstar Series 2 Shawn Michaels Bone Cruncher when he's got the red tights on, and the Superstar Series 1 Undertaker with the purple gloves and the purple boots that he used to wear back in like the mid 90s and the hat.
Okay, okay.
It comes with the removable hat, and back in that day, to have a removable accessory was like so over the top and cool. So to have an Undertaker with a removable hat, Undertaker was always my guy. Him and Shawn Michaels were my two favorites always. So um, I still remember walking into Walmart and seeing those for the first time, and just being completely wowed that they'd had new style action figures after the Hasbro series and that Bendham's. So being that, I would say the Undertaker and Shawn. Those are my two. Those are the two figures. Actually, my
Okay.
Undertaker is sitting on my bedside table right now, and I'm looking at it as we speak.
Okay.
And yeah, my Shawn Michaels is right here as well. I'd say those are my two favorite for nostalgia reasons, but also just like everything about those figures are so cool. Like yeah, they don't have the articulation that they have today, but I like the ones from before a lot more than I like the ones today. I do collect some of the new ones that come out now, but I'm more of an old school guy. Like I like the Bone Crunchers.
There you go. Do you collect Funko Pop or no?
No, I have a Hollywood Hogan Funko Pop, but I don't
Okay.
collect those. I think they're cool, but like it would just be a lot to dabble into if I started collecting those, and it'd just be, oh my God, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have the room for it. Like, just I have so many.
Just once you start, you couldn't stop.
Yeah, like the kids like them, when they get a little older, then I definitely buy them some, but I wouldn't even have
Yeah.
anywhere to put them. Like I'm looking into getting a DTOF now that I can put my figures in, a stand to display all of my action figures, and then I can actually take some of them, because I got a lot of them in a box, but I also have a lot of them loose. I like to open my figures, like Zack Ryder said, let them breathe. I like to open my action figures because like even if like they just sit there, I like to be able to just take it out myself and just kind of look at it myself and see how loose the joints are, if they are at all. I just like to. I like to, like, some people think you're crazy for opening them, but I'm like, hey man, like I don't want to just leave all of my action figures in boxes for the rest of my life. It's like at some point or another, I'd either pass them down to my kids, because my kids also have a lot of them now. They like playing with them too. So I have ones that I let them play with, but they don't play with my Bone Crunchers unless like, I'm right there with them, because I don't want them to get, like they're a little more delicate than the Ruthless Aggression ones and stuff. So like I give them some of those ones that are a little more durable. Like if I'm in a room with them, I'll let them play with them and stuff like that, as long as they're gentle. They gotta be gentle with them.
Yeah, you gotta supervise the play with the Bone Crusher figures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta, man. I gotta just makes me cringe if I see them getting slammed too hard. So I'm just like, no, like we got to keep them in good condition for when they go on my display. But yeah, I like to open some of them, and I like to keep some of them in boxes, like my Undertaker and Shawn.
Yeah, I have a few Funko. I have a few Funko Pops. I like to keep them in the box. I have Cody. I got the Undertaker. I got Bret Hart, Kenny Omega, Ric Flair. So I don't have too many because I'll say this though, I'm not allowed to collect them, but I sneak them into the house anyway.
Well, you got a little collection at least, so you got somewhere to start, right? So.
Yeah, no, I got a few. I got Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, Sergeant Slaughter. So I got a few.
Nice. Yeah, and the boxes aren't huge either with the Funko Pops, at least.
Yeah.
So you can get away with having, displaying them, somewhere in your, one of your rooms without, being caught, noticed, with action figures. A lot of them are in such big boxes that's the bulky thing with them.
It's tough.
That's the problem with me, is like I can only have so many of the boxes, stuffed in my closet. So it's like, it just gives me an excuse to open them, right? And then I'm like, hey, okay, I'll open a couple of them, right? And I let my son open my Hardcore Holly the other week. He liked the table accessory. I think that's so awesome. It came in a breakable table, and I turn around and he's got the box and he just started ripping it open. I said, yeah, like, that's my boy right there. Go ahead. Yeah, I couldn't not let him open that, right? And yeah, like the table was so stiff, probably from being in the box for 20 years. Couldn't even break it if you tried. But he liked it. It was cool. I like to open them, and like I said, eventually I would pass them down to the kids and stuff. Like I don't want to just keep them all in the boxes. Like some of them, yeah, like. And another one, going back to one of my favorites, is my Yokozuna figure, Bone Cruncher, and I have that in box, and that's one that I would probably keep in box. That's one of I believe 16,000, or one of 1,000 or 16,000, whatever, one of them. But very cool, very rare figure. So that was one of them that like I didn't even know existed as a kid, because it's a special edition figure. So. Finding out years after I was into the Bone Crunchers, like, when I started getting a little bit older, like finding out that there actually was a Yokozuna figure released, being able to have the one, and I had the one in the white attire that he didn't wear very long, but still a really cool figure and a rare figure. And that's definitely one of my golden, top of the top list. That one I don't see me opening. And if I did, it would definitely just go straight to display. I'd probably want to hit a bonsai drop with it, but I just, you know, couldn't risk it.
You sound very proud. You sound very proud about that figure.
Oh, dude,
that you have that.
Blown away when I got it in my hands. I was like legitimately like a kid, blown away. I was just like, oh my god, like I literally never seen it. It was never on the back of ever. I never advertised on the back of any boxes or anything that I'd ever seen. So, to have that in my hands, I was just immediately blown away, and definitely one of my holy grails, as they call it. Figures, one of my favorites, and it was released like a year or two after Yokozuna was already kind of off of TV. So even though it didn't line up with the time that he was on TV, it didn't really matter. It almost made it more of a rare, holy grail figure to have, because Yokozuna, kind of just been completely off TV, because when he left WWE, he never went to WCW or anything. You just didn't see Yokozuna again until, that legendary show that he did with Jake and all those guys back in like the year 2000. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's advertised as like one of the best, like worst pay-per-views or something like that of all time, and I remember that was like his last appearance before he died. So having that figure, it's definitely for me, like I said, a holy grail, and I love action figure collecting, man. It's one of those things that I'm hooked on now.
All right, there you go, man. So don't get hooked on the Funko Pops, man, because you won't stop, man. Trust me.
Oh no, I won't be allowed to get those. No, I got enough action figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the two kids. So say number of years from now they decide that they want to be professional wrestlers. Would you support it, and would you train them?
Oh yeah, I'd 100% support them. Anything that they want to do, I would 100% support that. And I would completely understand if they wanted to do it. I couldn't tell them no, especially where I did it myself. It's one of those things where, I would completely appreciate it and actually find it pretty cool if they did want to be wrestlers. And yeah, I would train them. I would want to be the one to show them the way. And I definitely have to, have some good talks with them, because the wrestling business. It's definitely a lot to take in, and to be a pro wrestler, you have to have the right mindset, and you have to be prepared. I can remember going back and having my first match and stuff like that when I was 19, and it's crazy how I loved it so much then that there wasn't anything that was going to stop me, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into and didn't even care. I had to be in that ring, had to be there, and I still remember doing my first like tours and stuff like that in 2009 and going on the road. It was Honky Tonk Man, Bushwhacker Luke, and Al Snow that were on the tour. It was like an 8-day tour for UCW, and I can still remember going up there the first time and wrestling that many days in a row and just being like, holy, like the wrestling business is wild, and it's definitely not for everybody. So, as far as my kids are concerned, I would definitely be willing to train them, but I would definitely want them to make sure that, they understood what they were getting themselves into. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, just saying, the wrestling business is a lot to take in. So, if it's something that you want to do, you gotta be definitely prepared. It's more than just learning how to, take bumps and go out there and work in front of, a crowd. There's a lot that goes with it. So, you have to be mentally strong. You have to be, physically, all those things matter. So, if that was something that they knew in their heart that they wanted to do, 100%, I'd be proud, first of all, to train them and show them the way. But I would want them to make sure that they understood that, a lot comes with it. And, you have to be very strong-willed to be in the wrestling business and to last in the wrestling business.
So that said, there are a number of young stars that are up and coming right now in the Maritime. So are there any ones that you feel we should keep an eye on, or are there anyone that you have your eye on that could be eventually a star in the Maritimes?
You know what? Be honest with you, Jefferson James. All jokes aside, I think he's a talented kid, and I've had a couple matches with him. Last year, actually, I was in the ring with him a couple times, and I had a lot of fun working with him. I think he's come a long way over the years, and I definitely think he has the ability, to be a maritime star, and I definitely think that he's definitely one of the guys that will break out, and he definitely has that opportunity with Kaizen Pro. But Jeff James is who I would have to go with.
Okay, there you go, man. I just had Guerrero Saya on. What's your opinion on Guerrero Saya? I interviewed him before I interviewed you. Just out of curiosity, what are your thoughts on Guerrero?
I like him. I've only met him a couple times, but he's a really nice guy and talented guy, and he's a guy I'd like to step in the ring with. Different style, and I think that we would be able to have an entertaining match. But like I said, I've only met him a couple times, but really nice guy, and definitely a nice new face to have in maritime wrestling, and another guy that I'd like to step in the ring with.
All right, so what's the dream match? I know I asked you this on the last show, but you've had quite a few matches since then. Maybe you had a chance to change your mind. And to be honest, I don't remember your answer. So what's the dream match for JP Sims?
Dream match, man. I've been very fortunate to be in the ring with a lot of talent and names that I never would have thought in my wildest dreams I would have been in the ring with. AJ Styles, who I've obviously already been in the ring with, will always stand tall. Marty Jannetty will always stand tall on my list for nostalgia and fun. I had a lot of fun working Marty Jannetty, and my God, the man could bump. 50 years old, man, bumped on concrete when we worked. He took a bump on the floor, and, the guy could still go, and I always loved the rocker. So, those two will always be high on my list. But if I had to pick a dream opponent, and I'll go realistic. I'll go with somebody that it would actually be realistic, because Shawn Michaels, guys like that are obviously retired, and they're not going to come out of retirement, and if they do, they're going to work a match in the WWE. To be honest here, but I would love to work RVD. There's a name that I've always wanted to wrestle, and I know RVD does independent bookings and stuff like that, and my God, there's a name that I think, first of all, that we would have a great match, and I think that our styles and characters would mesh well in the ring together, because we both are always, looking at the audience and going for those cheers, and I think that I just think that our styles would work really well together, and he's a name that I've always wanted to get in the ring with, and one that realistically is possible, and could happen sometime. I would love to work RVD.
Absolutely could happen, and I'm sure it will. If you ever tours the Maritimes, I'm sure you'll get your opportunity against RVD. It'll be a great match, and it'll probably feel good simulating RVD.
Absolutely, man, and he can take a sick one. So he's a guy that takes it right on his head. So I'd love to hit him with a simulator, 100%.
There you go, man. Like I said, it could happen, and if it does, and if you get a recording of it, you're gonna have to send that to me like immediately, okay?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that one wouldn't be. Okay. That one would be being posted right away.
Okay, man. So, a question I wanted to ask, like promotions like Impact Wrestling right now, they're taping in front of no crowds. There's no audience. Would you be able to wrestle? How would it be weird wrestling in front of in an empty arena with no crowd? Do you think you could do that, or do you think it would be weird, strange?
I think I could do it, but it would be weird. At the end of the day, like, anybody that loves wrestling, you have so much fun doing it. But what really, you feed off that audience. The audience makes wrestling what it is. Like don't get me wrong, when you're training, or you're at the school, like, at the ring, you get that adrenaline rush when you're in the ring. Don't get me wrong. Like, you feel good, even when there's just, a couple people sitting around watching you. You get that adrenaline and you have fun doing it. But nothing beats having an audience to show your performance to, to go out there and tell a good story. You're telling that story for the audience. Sure, you're doing it for yourself and you enjoy it and your opponent, but you're telling that story to them. And when you don't have that reaction and you don't have the fans to boo and cheer and watch and appreciate your every move, it's definitely different. But at the end of the day, it's better than no wrestling, and for all those guys to be able to get in the ring and be watched by people on TV, I think that's it's still huge, and but it would be very, very, very different going out there and doing, a full out pay-per-view with no crowd at all. Like watching WrestleMania was very odd, especially being the first event with no crowd. Like that was very, 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 very odd.
Yeah, I mean, because you need the crowd to feed off of, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't get that reaction, right? Like if you do a big spot or you come off the top rope or something, you don't get that ooh or ah or you don't have anybody to wait for that reaction when you as in wrestling, you do a move, period, wait for the reaction, do another move, period, whatever. You don't have that, you just kind of gotta kind of gloat for the camera, but you don't have the fans to look at and say, hey, look at me, look what I just did.
Well, hopefully that'll all end soon. So we'll get back to
exactly.
to
Even if it's
full crowds.
Yeah, you gotta have something, right? Like smaller audiences is better than no audience, right? Even if it's less people, having a crowd to react makes all the difference.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I haven't been to a show in a long time. I'm looking forward to getting back to a live show.
Yeah.
So last question, and then I'll let you plug anything you want to plug. So where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see high hope. I see myself working outside of the Maritimes, and I see myself, hopefully working for one of the top promotions. Like it's not the dream will never end for me. Like people can laugh, people can say whatever they want, but that goal is never going to end for me until I can, check that off my bucket list and say that I've, wrestled all over the world. I'd love to wrestle, in Europe. I'd love to do shows in the States again. I'd like to go to Toronto, do some shows, wrestle with you, but, meet up with you, have you come to a show sometime.
Yeah. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a wrestler. There won't be any matches between me and you. But
but to be those things are those are still on my list, and again with the Corona you appreciate it, right? It's like it made you miss it more, and it's like hey, opportunities knock and you got to take them, and 2020 I wanted to be a year where I got out and did some shows out of the Maritimes, but obviously with what happened that wasn't possible, so that made me even more hungry to want to do it. But I'd like to see myself working outside of the Maritimes 5 years from now, no matter where it is, but to be able to be in a promotion like Impact or AEW, anything like that would just be icing on the cake. But I definitely want to expand my bookings and get out and work other places and wrestle in front of other crowds, and be able to, like I said, even maybe do a tour in Europe, like, or something, or wherever. I think that would be a lot of fun. Japan, whatever. I want those experiences. So that's where I'd like to see myself in 5 years from now.
All right. Well, you're going to get all of them, man. Trust me, you're going to get all of them. They're all coming. This coronavirus is, put a damper on things, but don't worry, they're all coming, brother. They're all coming.
Hey, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. So before we go, if there's anything you want to plug, I know we talked about a few upcoming shows, but if you have merchandise, social media, anything you want to plug, man, now is the time.
All right, man. Follow me on Instagram, Sims187, Twitter at JP_Sims, and follow me on Facebook, my fan page, my regular page, whatever. As far as bookings, there's some Kaizen Pro shows coming up this Saturday, November 7th. Kaizen Pro Wrestling is going to be a wicked show. I'm really looking forward to it. I got an IHW show on November 20th up in Moncton. That's also going to be a lot of fun. There's another Kaizen Pro show next month in December as well. I believe December 12th. So a couple shows coming up. So, this one coming up is sold out, but for the ones coming up otherwise, get your tickets and come take advantage of the last couple shows that we can do before we call it a year. And follow me on social media and stick with the journey and see what's coming up. That's it, man.
All right, and you might be defending the Kaizen Pro Wrestling title on the December show. There's a very good possibility that you could be.
Hey, that's the plan. That's the plan. And to have a show in December, right before the bad weather starts to come, perfect opportunity to get in there and actually defend the title because, like I already said, that title's coming with me. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm hungry.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm going for that title this Saturday night. I'm taking it. And to be able to end the year with a defense, like title defense, yeah, man, that's the way I'm going.
Okay, just so this podcast might be out after November 7th, but I'm going to do my best to get it edited and out before. I'm sorry, November. Did I say December? November 7th. Sorry.
November 7th, you said. Yeah.
November 7th. Yeah. So I'll try to get this out before that, so everybody in that match could hear how you feel you're walking out with the title. So I'll try to get this out, man.
Yeah, all good either way.
All right, cool, man, cool. So, JP, man, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure, man. And let's not wait so long, man. Let's do this again soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you again. It's been too long, like you said. I don't want to wait that long again. It just feels like talking to you again for the last hour feels like we haven't not talked for a year. You know, like it just feels like normal.
I know.
Catching up with you. So.
I know.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again, and maybe even before the December show, maybe we can even, get some time and jump in and talk again.
Absolutely. And maybe you could, after you win the title on Saturday, you can send me a picture with you with the title around your waist. How about that? And I can use that
good. I'll send you a picture of that with one shoulder with the Newbury title, and the other one will have the Kaizen Pro title on it.
There you go. All right, there you go. Sounds cool. And I'll use that as the podcast promotion picture. How about that?
There. Now you're talking. I like it.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, buddy. Again, thank you so much. And just hang out for a bit. Don't hang up just yet. I'm just going to talk to you after I close out the show.
All right, man. Good enough. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, this has been Shooting Up North Indy Edition. I'm your host, Lewis Carlan. Again, want to thank my guest, the King, the Real Maritimes Legend, and possibly the first Kaizen Pro Wrestling Champion, JP Sims. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.